Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So before I start talking about these interesting scenarios that are being flashed looking at the price action of Bitcoin in a different time frame, I just want you guys to destroy that like button, and to those individuals watching for the first time, to hit the subscribe button and the bell. But if you want to support me even further, a comment is always appreciated. Thank you very much. Now if we look at this Y-curve distribution, schematic, event and phases, we can see very clearly, guys, the price of Bitcoin is lacking bullish momentum because we are in this phase E. In phase E, the price does shows fake outs, but at the end heads towards this original trend direction. So in our case, since the price is also flashing a very similar movement, just like I shown here in an example, we have to be careful because we know as soon as the price loses the support which we have around 29,000 in the medium short term, then the next area of confluence where we could be getting attracted will be somewhere around 28,000 range before deciding the trend duration. But according to this distribution schematic from Y-curve event and phases, the price of Bitcoin could go even lower. Why lower? Because this will be looked as a distribution phase and price must head towards to form an actual accumulation phase before starting a new impulsive movement or new marker phase. So that's why, guys, our eyes are definitely going to be around the support which we have around 29,000. And also, if you want to continue this uptrend, we have to overcome some key line of resistance. Yes, yesterday I showed you that 29,600 must hold the price. If we lose that support, then there is a very high probability of price getting attracted here to the downside around 28,000 before choosing a trend duration. And not just only that, we even found out this upper trend line was also acting as a strong line of resistance. Yes, the price of Bitcoin in the past price action always found support at the lower trend line and resistance at the upper trend line. And yesterday, when the price of Bitcoin got rejected after reaching around this 30,000 range, I was very clear with you guys. This 30,000 in the medium short term will be looked as a very strong line of resistance. Resistance because it has failed to overcome this key line of support. I mean, this horizontal trend line which previously acted as a support rejected the price along with this upper trend line. So that's why 30,000 yesterday was a very important line of resistance which we failed to break. And now, since we are below this 29,600, the support which we had, this must be taken seriously. I mean, once the price loses the grip around 29,000, then this trend, right, could be slowly heading here to the downside and price could be coming back to this support which we have around 28,000 before deciding the trend duration. So that's why, guys, that's why please be careful. Please look at the price action carefully around 29,000, because once we lose the support, then even the bullish scenario known as falling wedge is going to get invalidated. But what I personally think could be happening here is a movement in this manner. I mean, price faking out, getting attracted towards the 28,000, liquidating all the over leverage longs and then starting a new impulsive movement. So that's why in our case, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin after this shakeout around 28,000 to start with a new impulsive movement here in this manner, because we know parallelly the price of Bitcoin was not just only facing resistance from this descending broadening wedge, the horizontal trend line around 30,000, but also the resistance from this broadening bottom. Yes, guys, the upper trend line from this broadening bottom yesterday rejected the price. You can see this is exactly where we came. This is exactly where we found resistance. So what I'm trying to pinpoint here is that since the price in our case does looks like showing weakness, but I just want you guys to be clear. As long as the price of Bitcoin remains about 28,000, any sort of a pullback could still be looked as a fake out, and price after that could show another impulsive movement here in this manner, because you can see broadening bottom is actually a bullish continuation pattern. So for this bullish continuation pattern to play out, we need to remain about 28,000, and if we remain about 28,000, any sort of a shakeout will be looked as a temporary shakeout, and price after that is expected to show a final move, right? Final move towards 31, 32,000 and even around 35 to 40,000 range before choosing a trend duration. Yes, guys, this is what we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to do after the shakeout, which we are expecting around 28,000. Now, before I switch the chart, I just want to friendly remind you about this Bybit World Series of Trading competition with total prize pool of 8 million USDT. Yes, guys, Bybit is providing around 8 million USDT to traders who are taking part in this competition. So if you want to trade in this competition, if you want to fight for this 8 million USDT prize pool, then feel free to join my squad. The link is in the description down below, or you can simply scan this QR code. Now let me switch the chart. Now let me talk about this leading indicator. Why even after this ascending CPR the price of Bitcoin is showing weakness? Because ascending CPR only gets formed when the market is preparing for a new uptrend. In our case, this CPR line acted as a resistance, but I was very clear with you guys, because the price of Bitcoin opened below the CPR line, below the August CPR line. These lines aren't going to be acting as a support. It is going to be acting as a resistance. So that's why when we came around this 29,000 to 30,000 range, we got rejected, and now we are facing some difficulty. So what I'm trying to pinpoint here is that even after some range bound, even after some shakeout, please do not worry. Even the monthly S1 line is around 28,000, or let's say above 28,000. Yes guys, even after this massive shakeout, if the price of Bitcoin manages to remain above 28,000, then we are expecting the trend after that to turn very bullish, and price after that also to show another continuation here in this manner. But if we fail to hold the support which we have around 28,000, the first monthly S1 line, then for this month of August, we have the S2 line lying around, this red line is lying around 27,000, and the worst case target for this month of August is around 25,200 range. So let's not look at this bearish scenario right now, because the price is still above the key line. So we just need to find proper support over 28,000 and price to break out of this CPR resistance line, which is going to be around 29,500 to 30,000 range. Now, even if we look at this in a bigger frame, in a bigger frame, if the price does shows another continuation here to the downside, I just want you guys to look at this example on the right hand side, because according to this example as well, once we broke the resistance from this falling trend line, price even came back to test the previous temporary resistance line, flipped that into support, and started a new impulsive movement. And this impulsive movement was also more of a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of formation. So what I'm trying to pinpoint here, in our case, the price of Bitcoin might also show another continuation towards this rising trend line, which is going to be around 28,000. So if we remain above that range, then we will be looking at this as a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of formation, where the price after retracement of 28,000 is expected to form another higher high. So that's why guys, even in a weekly, 28,000 is considered as a very important line of support. Now, even if we look at this in a bit different way, if we use this bearish scenario here in a weekly time frame known as rising wedge, we know in the medium short term there might be weakness, there might be a retracement around this crypto and buy sell indicator and even the rising wedge. But I just want you guys to be clear, even if this is going to be another continuation here to the downside towards 28,000, it is still going to form a higher low. So as long as the price remains about 28,000, we are still expecting the price of Bitcoin to show a final move between 35 to 40,000 range, and only after that show another continuation here to the downside. So that is another reason why 28,000 in the medium short term for the upcoming days is looked as one very, very important line of support which we have to hold. Because you can see in a monthly time frame I showed you yesterday, the price of Bitcoin has already broken out of this falling trend line, and we have found out that in the past price action, breaking out of this falling trend line, finding support at the 200 weekly moving average has always led to a very nice bullish movement. In 2018, 2019, a very similar scenario unfolded. Price broke the resistance from this long-term resistance line and then found support over 200 weekly moving average, which led to a very nice impulsive movement. So this is exactly what is also being flashed in our case. And now, if you add this capitulation indicator in 2014, you can see guys, when the capitulation phase ended, it also gave us a confirmation the market is ready for a new impulsive movement. In 2019, 2020, you can see even after the end of capitulation phase, price did show a retracement, because around that area we had a lot of FUD, and then the price finally started with a new marker phase. In our case, the capitulation phase has ended, price has broken the resistance, the long-term resistance line, and also above the 200 weekly moving average. So in a bigger picture, you can see the price of Bitcoin still looks super bullish. So even if we do see shakeout, even if the price does get attracted towards 28,000, we are not going to worry that much, because we know we have some strong line of support lying for Bitcoin around that area. So this is what I see looking at the price action of Bitcoin in a different time frame using different scenarios. If you enjoyed my work, then please destroy that like button. And one more time, if you want to join my squad at World Series of Trading competition with total prize pool of 8 million USDT, the link is in the description down below, or you can simply scan this QR code to join my squad. Now, by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.